Welcome back, bestie. Today we are going to talk about something that is often overlooked, but it's one of the critical parts of success in business and in life, and it is the art of saying no. Saying no can be really hard, especially for women in business, small business owners and entrepreneurs who, we often wear a lot of different hats. We juggle a lot of different responsibilities, but learning to say no is essential to prevent overwhelm, burnout, and honestly, overcommitment. I'm Amy Walker, your biz bestie, and I am so glad that you're here with us today because this is an important one. If you are overcommitting, this could be the game changer for you. So let's dive right into our topic today. The first principle is really understanding why we overcommit. There's a few different reasons why people say yes to everything, and I think it's important to know what's your primary motivating factor. Sometimes we say yes to everything because of guilt. We feel like we're not showing love or showing care or showing compassion if we say no to things, and so that guilt is the motivating factor. Sometimes the motivating factor is the fear of missing out on something. That if we don't say yes to this, what if the opportunity goes away and it never circles back around again? Sometimes it's because we truly like and enjoy so many different things that we're like, that sounds fun, that sounds fun, that sounds fun, I want to do them all. And sometimes we're seeking validation from others, believing that by saying yes, we're showing our value and our worth. It's like we wear busy like a badge of courage. However, saying yes to everything leads to burnout, loss of focus, poor performance. It really is not the way to create sustainable success. Knowing what your motivation is going to help you be able to pause in that moment when the thing comes to you, to be able to pause and be like, oh, I see what's happening. I'm starting to feel guilty, or I see that I'm starting to feel like I'm going to miss out, or yes, it absolutely sounds fun, but you know what doesn't sound fun? Being overcommitted and stressed and missing deadlines. That doesn't sound fun. So knowing what that is at the root of it is going to help us be able to recognize and to make that adjustment before we say yes. If you are digging these tips and it's helpful for you, I would love for you to like the video, leave us a comment, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you can get notified every time we release new content, which is every Tuesday, something new and cool is coming your way. The second principle of saying no is understanding that behind every yes, there is a no. So when you say yes to one thing, you are absolutely saying no to something else. And before you say yes, you want to actually take some time and figure out what that is. So for example, I just had a conversation with one of my team members, and we were talking about, should we host a women's retreat this summer? I love hosting women's retreats, but I also recognize that if I say yes to that retreat, that time and energy that's going to go into filling that retreat is going to come out of somewhere. I can't create time, I can only dedicate time. So knowing that, I have to look at it and say, well, where am I going to pull that time from? Am I going to pull it from time I would have spent normally creating content or filling a choir? Is it going to come from family time? Is it going to come from time of my writing? Or is it going to come from my education time? Where is that coming from? So I told her, this was my actual exact answer. I said, you know what? I want to think this over some more. It sounds really fun, that's my trigger. I always want to do the fun things. It sounds really fun, but before I commit to it, I need to really look at all of the other things I've said yes to and decide if I'm going to be able to do that. The next part of learning to say no is understanding that not all money is good money. So when people bring projects to you, and I have this happen a good bit where people will reach out and say, Amy, we really want you to help us with blah, blah, blah. This just happened this week. Someone said, hey, could your team build this landing page for me? And could my team do it? Yeah, we absolutely could. I have a great copywriter on my team. I have a great systems person on my team. But what would happen is me pursuing that little bit of money would pull my team out of doing the things that create big, consistent money. And so when we're chasing all money, we overcommit ourselves and we end up taking on business that's really not the right business for us. It's important to know what you want to do over and over and over again, and to let these other things go to someone else. So I referred him to 2 people that are both past clients of mine that I know would do a phenomenal job and would be excited to have that business, because that's the business that they want to do over and over and over again. When we recognize that not all money is good money, we will enjoy the work that we do more. We will feel less like spread thin, less overwhelmed. If you've ever had those clients where you're like, I cannot wait until this contract is over because it's making me insane, you will no longer have those clients. You'll have people who you enjoy working with, and you will do the things that are profitable and good for you. Next principle is that overcommitting to family or business will both block success. It's really important that we have the balance between the two. What I used to do in my business was that I would wait until we really needed money, and then I would jump in and work super hard in business. This is like early years entrepreneur Amy. So I'd work really super hard in business, and then I would get money coming in, and then I would feel guilty that I was completely ignoring my family. And so then I would put the brakes on business and jump back in with family, and it was just like this up and down and up and down. And it wasn't good for me. It was not good for my business, but you know what? It also wasn't good for my family, because my family, I like it and I feel like things move the best when we're just like stable and consistent. We have consistent cash flow coming in, we have consistent family time, we have consistent date nights. That consistency really helps us to be able to focus on the people and focus on the relationships. So being overcommitted one direction or the other blocks your success. And that might be different than how most people look at it. I think most people look at it and say, if you overcommit on the family side, then it's going to hurt your business. But they don't look at the other side and say, if you overcommit on business, it also hurts the business side. Because what will happen is you'll have these start stops. And then your business can't ever hit that point of critical mass and momentum where things just flow smoothly, because you're starting from scratch every single time. As a woman in business, you have to have that harmony between both sides of your life. Otherwise, it's not sustainable success. Okay, now that we have talked about, I hope I sold you on the idea of saying no being a success principle, but now we need to talk about how do we actually say it. So the key is not to say yes or no in the moment, because that's where I think we second guess ourselves. So what I would recommend that you do is when someone brings an opportunity to you, say, thank you so much for thinking of me. I really appreciate being considered for this. Let me get back to you tomorrow. I'll look it over tonight and see everything that I have going on, and then I'll tell you yes or no if I'm able to help with that. What this does is it allows you to delay the response so that you can actually use some critical thinking. Now you can go through and say, okay, why am I feeling compelled to say yes? Is it because this is a great opportunity and I'm ready for it? Is it because I feel guilty saying no? Is it because I want to say yes to all the fun things, but that might cause me problems later? Is it that I have a fear that if I say no now, this opportunity will never cycle back around? We can look at the motivation. The second thing we can do is look at what's behind. If we say yes to that, what will we be saying no to? Will we be saying no to family time, to business growth time, to education? Or are we just going to be saying no, like, oh, I guess I'll watch less Netflix this week? I can do that. All right, our last tip, the sixth and final, is that when you say no to something, you need to let it go completely. You shouldn't second guess. You shouldn't dwell on it. You shouldn't wonder, well, what if I had done that thing? Would that have been the difference maker? No, I actually don't believe that good opportunities only come around once. In my experience, if an opportunity that looks good comes around, but it's not the right time, and I don't feel good about saying yes, then it's not the right opportunity, and something will come along that is the right opportunity. The right client will come, the right job will come, the right something will come. But I'm not worried about missing out because it's not going to happen again. It will. So give yourself the gift of trusting that you made the right decision. Give yourself the gift of being at peace with what you have decided, and then just simply move forward with it. Okay, so let's summarize. Overcommitment is detrimental to success, so it's important to say no. We know that saying yes to one thing often means saying no to something else, so we want to consider what we're saying before we make any new commitments. Not all money is good money. It's essential to consider whether an opportunity aligns with your values, interests, and goals. And neglecting either side, the personal life or the work life, can both block success. So we need that balance between the two. Give yourself time to think through the decision before making a commitment to something new. And just remember that letting go of the opportunities that aren't the right fit for you can give you the gift of focus on other things that truly align with your values, your interests, and your goals. If you would like to join a community of other like-minded entrepreneurs, come join me in my private Facebook, Acquire. It's a great place to ask questions, to engage, and I do post a training every Monday morning so you can kind of just get your week started off right. I would love to have you over there. So now that you have perfected the art of saying no, the next video I want you to go check out is what are the advantages of being a woman-owned business. I cannot wait to see you over there.